Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. Today, as you probably are aware, we are going to talk a bit more about XDR. I'm not sure if this is a term that's familiar to everyone. I hope not too much, because if not, we're going to get a bit repetitive today. But in any case, let's just start from the beginning. Today, our XDR webinar is hosted by Jetse, my colleague, who is also in the screen right now, probably somewhere. He's actually our SentinelOne extraordinaire. He is my pre-sales engineer, consultant, and cybersecurity trainer, and has been with Exclusive for over 4 years now. So anything technical, basically anything you can ask Jetse when it comes to SentinelOne. Yeah, I mean, he's one of the greatest assets of our company, if I can say that.
Wow.
And I've been, yeah.
I like those introductions. Thanks.
Yes. Well, but I don't lie about those things. I don't lie. So, and then of course, myself. I'm with Exclusive for about a year now, a bit over a year. I'm a business development manager for SentinelOne, but also for other vendors like Nutanix and Rubrik, which kind of gives you an idea of my background, which was before I started at Exclusive, which was more infrastructure driven and data center driven. So hyper-converged and that stuff. But now, after a year at Exclusive, I've been opening doors into the world of security, which is an amazing part of the IT that has lots of interesting things to learn and know about. So let's dive into the topic, yeah? I guess we all want to know what XDR is, but before we go into the nitty-gritty, I really want to focus a bit on why we need XDR, yeah? Because I want to provide some context. XDR basically means extended detection and response. Yeah. Why will we need extended detection and response? Well, basically, we're going to go into that a bit more in depth further, but in the slides, I mean. But basically, we see a big evolution with more threats, more data, more security tools we need, handled by more people. Yeah, so
Caroline, sorry to interrupt, but
yes.
I think that your slides are not advancing.
Oh, okay. Then there's something wrong. Let me just go back.
Still on the first slides.
There you go.
Yeah, perfect.
You see the slide, or you see the whole?
Yes.
Yeah,
No,
only
we
the
see
slide, right?
slides. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, so that should be better. My apologies. So basically, the trends that we are seeing is more threats, more advanced threats. We see threats from different angles. So there's a lot more going on. If we look at, for example, at 90 years ago, in the 90s, I mean, or 10 to 20 years ago, let's say, it was a lot different. We had our antivirus, and that was sufficient to help us detect threats. Things are changing, and they're changing at a rapid pace. Yeah. Also, what we are seeing is that there is a lot more data, not only on premise, but also in the cloud. There's a lot more things going on and a lot more data being stored. We have an enormous digitalization going on for the past years, and that translates in lots of data to analyze. Of course, there are also more security tools. So why more security tools? Well, advanced threats, more threats needs more security tools. So basically what we are seeing is that we need to widen the scope of our security, to widen the net and catch those threats in time. This isn't also just for the threats, but also we see this in frameworks like DORA, like NIS2, NIS in itself, yeah. This is not only the threats, but also the compliancy issues we have. We need to do more to protect ourselves more. And of course, we need more people to handle all those threats, or at least that is what we are seeing right now, that there is definitely a gap in the market for specialized security people. So now that we know why we need it. Well, what is it? So I told you about those extensive threats. Basically, what we are seeing is we need a more unified security incident detection and response platform. Yeah, which means that we actually are going to correlate more of data from different angles. We also wanted to connect the dots automatically and correlate the data for us, because we don't want to make it too hard on ourselves to find them ourselves and put in the time. Yeah, if we can make it easier and automate it, that's what we should do. Yeah. For multiple proprietary security components, that's a really difficult way to say. We need it from different angles and we need it from different sources, and compile it in one platform. Yeah. So XDR, basically, to keep it a bit simpler, XDR is a new approach to security. So it's not a product in itself. Yeah. It's a new breed of strategy against threats. And at SentinelOne, we make it into a single pane of glass for easement. Yeah. But the basic three components of XDR, which are the same across all XDR forms, we will get into that later. We have lots of different forms of XDR. But there are three components that always come back, and that's centralization of normalized data, primarily focusing excuse me, on the XDR vendors ecosystem only. Also, correlation of the security data alerts, excuse me, correlation of security data and alerts into incidents, and also a centralized incident response. Circling back to how we came to, how XDR came to be, I already told this in the previous slide. So we had our antivirus many years ago that transferred into a next-gen antivirus. Then we went into EDR, which SentinelOne is most known for at this moment in time and is now pioneering the XDR as well. But EDR, or endpoint detection and response, sorry, I'm a bit sick. It was actually the first pioneering technology from SentinelOne, where they did lots of behavioral AI automation on and made it really easy to detect. And then they expanded on XDR. But the thing is, XDR is not something different. It's actually based on EDR. So here we see the EDR circle, which is basically device-centric. So if you speak about EDR, it's visibility on the device, threat detection on the device, triage, remediation, threat hunting, all related to the devices. Yeah. When with XDR, we open up the scope a little bit more. We open it to other sources, say applications in the cloud, the network, email, firewall, your SIEM. We can integrate so many more things into the fabric or the surface of the attack or the fabric of your security and really correlate all the data. So that's what we are doing with XDR. Compiling information, making sure we can detect threats faster from different angles and analyze them deeper so that we have a faster time of response. So I told you about different types of XDR vendors, yeah. So as we know, XDR is not really a product, it's a way of thought. So Gartner actually has grouped them in different types of vendors. XDR vendors. Yeah, we have the platform security vendor integrating their portfolio. You can see Microsoft, Palo Alto. Yes, I swear. Sorry. Thank you. Yes, I'm sharing the slides after, so you have a reference. Yeah. Palo Alto, McAfee, Cisco, those fall under the category of platform security vendors integrating their own portfolio. Yeah. The second one is the EDR vendors expanding their coverage and integration strategies. So here is where SentinelOne comes in. Yeah. Obviously, SentinelOne falls into this category. We come at XDR from a position of strength in delivering a highly effective endpoint detection and response platform, which we will extend throughout a marketplace or third-party integration, which we will circle back on later on. I will show you this marketplace. So basically, you do not have to use advanced API connections and write your own scripts and make sure that these integrations come and all this information can come automated into your SentinelOne Singularity Platform. You have your marketplace and you can just click and play, basically. Click, okay, I want, for example, my proof point to be integrated. You go to the marketplace, you look at what's available. Proof point, for example, is probably in there. I will show that later on. Click and play. Lastly, but surely, other SOAR and analytics vendors approaching XDR through integration. So you have SIEM and SOAR vendors with integrated playbooks. Yeah, we have Simplify, SIEM Monster, I think. Exabeam is one of the vendors we also have in our portfolio, and others more. So this slide, I entered it into the system because I really want to make sure XDR, SIEM, and SOAR are different from each other. Yeah, so they're extensions on each other, let's say. If you start at the SIEM, which is a security information and event management system, then you can see it collects and analyzes log data from various sources within an IT environment to provide real-time analysis and security alerts. Although both XDR and SIEM tools collect data from multiple sources, an XDR platform, unlike an XDR platform, SIEMs lack the ability to identify meaningful trends, and they don't really provide detection and response capabilities. So that's one of the biggest differences between a SIEM and an XDR. Which I also really wanted to point out here. Then you have above the SIEM your SOAR as well, which is mostly for making the SIEM more performant. Yeah, so making it more easier to report, to automate some certain workflows. But it's not like a simple plug and play like XDR can be, especially in the SentinelOne, excuse me, SentinelOne Singularity platform, XDR platform. Just to go into that Singularity XDR platform, right? So what's it built on? Basically, what we can do with SentinelOne is we have our Singularity platform, which is, by the way, also has lots of interesting tools that can help organizations that are not highly technical through, for example, Purple AI, which is a chat box that helps you find your way within the platform. Yeah, so that's a neat thing to know. And we are also having a workshop. Jetse, do you remember the dates by heart of the workshop for Purple AI? He's looking it up. I will, once he knows, you can.
I will mention it at the end of the.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. I really wanted to touch base on this because it's so easy, and also within this XDR platform to use Purple AI and do threat hunting. I did myself, and we even tested it on someone in marketing. It's so easy. Even our marketing person was able to work with it. So just to go and show how easy it can be to use a Singularity platform using Purple AI. But basically, coming back to the XDR story. So what we want to do is we want to pump in all that information, all that data, and go and correlate it, analyze it and correlate it. So we pump all the data into our Singularity data lake, which keeps all the information, correlates data, gives it context, and sends it to the Singularity platform for further analysis and perhaps response if needed. Basically, that's kind of the building blocks that the Singularity platform is built of. How do we use these building blocks, or which building blocks am I talking about? Therefore, we really need to go to the marketplace. Yeah, if you want the best result, to catch the most threats, to have the best response time, to be the most knowledgeable about what is happening in your complete environment, integrations are needed, and we use Marketplace for this. Hopefully it's still open. Yes, there you go. Okay. Let me just see if I can quickly switch. Can everybody see my screen?
Yeah, looks good.
Perfect. So basically, I'm in the Singularity platform, and it's not easy. It's not difficult. To find. It's very easy to find. Here at the top, you can see Singularity Marketplace. Yeah. Just click on it, and bam, we are in. We can basically look at what we have in our own system. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to click there. If you have lots of applications spinning in the cloud, AWS, Azure, there are different connections to be made there. Also, you have your FortiGate. Let's scroll down. I hope I'm not. Netscope, for example, is also one of our vendors, a very good one to integrate with. Okta. I'm not sure if you're seeing any that you have in your environment, but as you can see, I've been scrolling for a while now. There's lots of integrations to be made. Factor AI, for example, as well, your network detection. Yeah, there's so much to integrate with. Even Slack, you have your Singularity webhook. I'm sure that during the demo that Jitsi is going to give, we will touch base on those things. But you can see there is so much in here to catch data from that it's a really good tool to use. And now let's see, because now I don't think I have my slides anymore. Just give it a sec. Okay. Let's continue. I put this slide in because I want to kind of give you an idea how it works behind the scenes, but I don't want to dive in too deep because if not, I don't think Jitse will have enough time for his demo. But basically this is basically a flow chart where you can see where we pull data from: the hardware, software, cloud, mobile, storage, infrastructure. By the way, which SentinelOne all has their own tools and for that you can use, but you can also have external tools like we just seen in Marketplace. You don't have to adapt everything to SentinelOne. You can use your dual vendor strategy and use it from other vendors as well. And basically what it does is ingests data into the data lake where the storyline happens. Storyline is a patented product name, let's say, where we do the correlation and the contextualizing of the data and present it to you as the user of the SentinelOne Singularity XDR platform. Yeah. Then there is signaling, deep visibility, STAR, which is the automating alerting and response system. I don't want to go too deep into every single part of it because, like I said, we are short on time, but feel free if you want to have a separate call or maybe even a demo. I would love to go deeper into all the aspects on how it works. But basically, that's kind of the flow chart of how everything moves through the Singularity, to the SentinelOne system, sorry. And there's also the last place is the custom scripting. Also here you can use Purple AI to help you with your custom scripting. Yeah, so there are lots of tools already built in for your detection and response, but you can make it your own by customizing as well. And without further ado, because I'm already a bit over time, my apologies, yes, I had to go through the last slides fast. We have, of course, our demo from the amazing Jitse. Leaving the stage to you.
Okay, yeah, fine. Thank you. Thank you for the excellent explanation. So what did I prepare for you guys? I'm gonna share my screen. I want to make it very tangible. Um, what can you expect from XDR? How should you see it in like use cases for your customers? What value does it bring you? That was what I wanted to focus on. And for that, I've prepared a machine over here. It won't be too deep technical, very comprehensive, because in essence, XDR is also focused on ease of configuration. I wouldn't say that it's not difficult to set up. It depends on which connector you are going to use. But once it is set up, then you can just use it. And you will see this in the demo as well. So what did I prepare? This is a machine. And on this machine, we're going to download a malware file. So let's imagine that this user who has logged on in the device, and she is called Barbara. She got a link to WeTransfer file and she downloaded the file. So let's try this. Let's download the file. The file is downloading. Let's open the file. Yeah, of course, I've already run it, so Microsoft knows it. If I extract the file, then you're going to see that SentinelOne is triggering on it. So SentinelOne has seen that this file is indeed malicious. So let's go to the console. And before we're going to the console, I want to show you, for example, this thingy, which is my Teams notifications. So I have opened, or I have set up an integration between SentinelOne and Teams to get automatic Teams notifications once there is, for example, a detection done by SentinelOne. You can also do this, for example, with Slack or by the let's say, old school integration for just having an email receiving when something is detected. So if I would open this page, then this would bring me to the console. And this console is what you see over here. It's where we can see our incidents. Now, I need to be, of course, in the right scope. So this is our incident, and we have seen that we have already got an notifications from Teams. This is done by the Marketplace integration. I will quickly show you this one for Teams. So it's basically configuring the necessary URLs and stuff, and then you will be able to post messages to Teams. This link won't be used anymore after this demo, so you can use it to send notifications to my Teams channel now. But after the demo, I will discard it just for your reference. Now, once that we got this detection, as you could see over here, we can go on and do some more investigation. So let's open it. And there you can see, for example, that we have some XDR integration set up with extra systems like, for example, Netscope, because we are using Netscope on the system for which we triggered the alert on. And there you can see, for example, how this file got on the PC, because from a management point of view, as a security analyst, this is the only information I have. So there is something detected. It was a file, so I can see where the file resides on the endpoint. I can see that it was classified as ransomware, but where is it coming from? We cannot know. SentinelOne cannot know. It just knows that it's got downloaded. And this is information that you can pull from other third-party systems, like, for example, Netscope in this case. So here we can see that this was downloaded, for example, via Firefox. And also the user who downloaded this file has a certain score based on her behavior on the net online, and we see that this is 753. Normally it should be around 1000. That's the ideal score. So this is a bit less, so not that good. Other things that you could use are, for example, integrations with VirusTotal. Imagine that this would be, instead of a malicious threat, a suspicious threat, like SentinelOne is not really sure. Then you can use, for example, VirusTotal to query whether you should treat it as a positive detection or not. should I treat it as malicious or not? You can also integrate with, for example, other systems like there are sandboxing and stuff. So that's also one which you could leverage to get this extra information about suspicious threats that are detected within your console. Another thing that I can highlight, for example, is Proofpoint. Proofpoint is an email security solution that we integrated with. So this can give us information about the user and her behavior on in her mailbox, because we know now that file is downloaded via Firefox. So someone opened the link, but where is this link coming from? We don't know yet. So we can have a look at Proofpoint and see whether this user has clicked on phishing URLs or malicious URL links in the last 12 hours, what links they were clicked on. And based on this information, we can maybe make an estimate whether we should take further actions or not. So based on all this XDR information, I can now decide, well, this is definitely a malicious threat. It's true positive. So I will take some actions. Normally these actions happen automatically, but for the sake of the demo, I've made them all manual. So within SentinelOne, typically what you will do is you will start first by quarantining the file. So this means that if I would go to SentinelOne, then you would see that this file gets quarantined and the threat is going to be mitigated. But because we know that this user is prone to click on, for example, phishing links based on the information we got from Proofpoint, maybe it could also be worthwhile to just suspend her account, because maybe she entered her credentials, and that's what you can do with the XDR response actions. So we've integrated in the demo with Microsoft Azure AD, and within Microsoft, I can tell Microsoft, well, clear this user session or maybe suspend this user because I don't trust it anymore. Maybe the credentials got compromised. So you will now see that SentinelOne is doing these actions in the background, and it has suspended the user in Azure now. As you can see, we have a successful status. So if I would go into my Azure Active Directory, enter ID, I will see now that Barbara's account has been disabled. Other things I can do, for example, is I can use third-party systems, because this is something which we didn't tackle yet. So normally we would make use of the existing integrations which are present in the marketplace, but we can also integrate with, let's say, unsupported applications. And for this, we have generic integrations with webhooks. And one which I set up in our demo environment is one where we integrate with a FortiGate. So this is not something which is out of the box present in the marketplace, but actually any application, any tool that uses or has an API where you can do requests to can be used in the generic webhooks to maybe do some automated actions, or like I am doing to perform them manually. So that's also what you are going to see over here. So I've created this action where I'm going to add the malware hash detected by SentinelOne, and let's add it on the FortiGate, so that if there is any device in my network that is, for example, not using SentinelOne, we can still block it on the network level, this malware. So let's apply this one. And now SentinelOne is doing the webhook query to my FortiGate, and you will see that in a minute, this will also be appended to the XDR actions. There you go. So now we have already also successfully added this malware hash to my FortiGate. So let's check that. So here you see it's empty now, my malware hashes. But now we have one entry. So this is now being shared with the FortiGate. This can also happen automatically if you want. And then the FortiGate knows that this is a malware and it should be blocked on the network level as well. You can also integrate in the other way around. So let's imagine that the FortiGate detected something. Well, then in SentinelOne, you can also take actions based on that. For example, let's imagine that the FortiGate, which is a firewall, has detected a command and control channel, well, then you can basically feed those logs from your FortiGate to the SentinelOne console. And then we're talking about the Singularity data lake, where we can then review all our logs of the FortiGate, as you will be able to see in a minute. If I switch to the XDR field, then you will see that I also have logs for my FortiGate in it. So I can search for them. I can see the IP addresses they're connecting from and stuff. And you can also create alerts within your SentinelOne console to trigger on those. So this can be really useful for example, if we have seen something in a thread which was detected by SentinelOne, to also search through the logs on other devices. And now for this example, we're using a FortiGate, but basically every device that is able to send logs can send his logs to the Singularity data lake. By default, you have 10 gigabytes in your data lake, which is freely available. If you are using control or complete licenses. So it's possible. Based on this, you can also create custom rules, for example, that trigger on those logs. And then you can get a notification at SentinelOne saying, hey, there was something detected on this FortiGate, which matches one of those rules which you wanted to trigger on. So this is actually an integration which is the other way around, but also a generic one. You can integrate with every system that is able or capable to send those types of logs. And by doing this, we have basically mitigated our threat. So what we have done is we have quarantined the file. Within SentinelOne, we have used the virus total information to detect whether it's a false positive or a true positive. And then we also use some XDR actions where we used, for example, the Microsoft Enter ID integration to disable the user, and also used a webhook to, for example, send this malware hash to my FortiGate. And by doing this, you can integrate multiple systems, and you can use SentinelOne as one, I would say, correlative engine where you can basically centralize your detections and maybe, if possible, also your actions, which you want to do on those detections. Now I'm going to pass the word back to Caroline for the wrap up. By the way, we have a Q&A section as well. So if you have questions, do not hesitate to put your questions in there or just put them in the chat like you are doing already.
Yes, please. So Q&A is now open. Feel free to ask any question. Just to recap, the demo was looked like it had a lot of manual, but like manual actions. But like Jetse said, these things can be automated and don't need to take lots of time. Yeah. All right. Just gonna wait a few seconds to see if anybody has any questions. We'll give you a minute. If not, of course, feel free to send us an email. So for me, that will be C for my first name, Caroline, and Geerts, Geerts, at exclusive-networks at .be, sorry. And the same goes for Jets, I think, same formats. So it's J Smeyers, SMEYERS, at exclusive-networks.be. All right. Thank you so much for your attention. Feel free to contact us if there is anything that wasn't touched upon today, or feel free to contact us for any further demos or information. All right. Thanks, everyone. You have a great day. And let's catch those threats. Sorry, one question here.
Yeah, we have one question. Can you share some view on how the solution is sold into the market?
Yeah, we
want
can.
to?
Yeah, I'm gonna open the screen real quick about the licensing. Let me just see where I have it on. So basically, there it is. Okay. So basically, what we know about the SentinelOne licensing scheme is you have your core, your control, and your complete, right? And let me just share my screen to show you there. So as you can see, if you want to see the features, I can also send you this, by the way, if you'd like. I think Bart asked the question. So here I have an overview of exactly what is involved for the core. Oh, sorry. Where am I going? Just going to use my arrows then. There. So you have on the left your Singularity core licensing, your Singularity control licensing, and on the right then your Singularity complete licensing. And if we scroll to the Singularity XDR features, which are in the middle somewhere here, you can see what is included and what is not included. So basically we always suggest to use a Singularity Complete license. Why? Because it has all the features in there, including the data lake feature for ingestion. The marketplace is also available in Singularity Control, so that's not an issue. I think that was your question. So let's say Control and Complete are your best options when purchasing SentinelOne. Was that a bit clear? I'm assuming you're a bit aware of how SentinelOne works. If this is not very clear, then please feel free to let me know.
Maybe I can also take the question from Antoine. So question was, yeah, what could be the caveat? So XDR is good, but we also have SIEM and SOAR. What's like the benefit of using one over the other? I think XDR, although you can integrate, like I showed you with webhooks and stuff, is still more limited than SIEM and SOAR tools. So SIEM and SOAR are from the ground up built for integrating with third-party tools where there is no marketplace. So it means that it is more difficult, but it also means that it is a very open ecosystem. So if you have a lot of tools and a lot of integrations that you want to make, like automated workflows, then a SIEM and SOAR solution or the combination of both is still more easy to use in terms of the integrations you can make. You can automate more with it. SentinelOne and especially the XDR concept is more used for like the basics and first actions that you can take. But don't expect it to fully replace your SOAR solution, because a SOAR will give you way more options, way more capabilities than what SentinelOne can give you with its XDR offering.
Yes, and that's why we really want to put the emphasis on the fact that SentinelOne is like an extension on your SIEM and your SOAR. They don't need to. It's not always the one or the other. If you already have a SIEM solution, if you already have a SOAR solution, there's integrations possible, and you don't have to discard all the work you did the previous years. Yeah. So what about governance reporting, operational, out of the box with SentinelOne? You want to take this one yet? So I'm thinking about integration
sure.
with Drata. That's
Sure. So indeed, so if you want to do governance reporting, yeah, for SentinelOne, the basic reporting there, you're stuck with SentinelOne reports, which are still more focused on the detections that SentinelOne did, etc. If you want to more elaborate reporting, then you need to integrate, or you can integrate with a SIEM or SOAR solution where you can do the reporting for there. Or we also have another solution in our portfolio. It's called indeed Drata. And there you can basically feed the information of SentinelOne to this solution, which is also, again, an XDR integration. And then Drata will take the reporting over from SentinelOne and will be able to do some governance reporting.
yeah. So basically, it kind of depends on the angle. Is there already a system in place? Is there not? Then we can offer the different solutions.
All right. I think with this being said, we can maybe wrap up the session. We have 1 minute still left. Before we wrap up, I'm going to post the link to our Purple AI workshop once again in the chat. So if you can, you're more than welcome to
Mhm.
subscribe. It's in October, the 8th of October. So more than welcome
Exactly.
to join us.
It's for technical and salespeople, just so you are aware. Like I said in the beginning, I did it. I'm a salesperson, so feel free to ask your colleagues to join as well.
All right. And with that being said, I think we
Great.
can
Thank you so much,
close
everyone.
off and wish you a pleasant day.
Yes.
Bye bye.
See you. Cheers. Bye.